Straight ahead on 12 News, play ball 1860s style. We'll give you a front row seat to a vintage game and a vintage celebration. Then a crystal business that's so passionate about insects.
Mosquitoes, ticks, ants, flies.
They wear it on their sleeve. But first, one of the Northwest Metro's most well-traveled highways could soon be in store for some significant upgrades. 12 News starts right now.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. Those of you who travel Highway 169 have probably experienced your fair share of gridlock pain.
But some significant upgrades could be in store that will improve safety and help ease traffic congestion. As Delane Cleveland reports, Golden Valley is leading the charge.
Highway 169 serves as the dividing line between Golden Valley and Plymouth.
It's a huge corridor of importance. It's a corridor of commerce.
Traffic flows smoothly during the middle of the day, but ask anyone who travels this corridor of commerce in the morning or evening rush hour.
Well, it is almost predictably going to be clogged up.
And it's an entirely different story.
I actually try to avoid 169 at certain times of the day.
Tens of thousands of people.
Talk to Golden Valley Mayor Shep Harris.
It's bumper to bumper, it's crawling, in some cases standstill.
And he says the city is well aware of 169's traffic flow problems.
What has happened over the years is that we've had a number of accidents, hundreds of accidents, and we've even had some tragic deaths.
Tuesday night, Golden Valley will take the lead and meet with MnDOT officials to begin discussions about reducing 169 traffic and making the road safer. Just how to do that, though, remains to be seen.
Yeah, a carpool lane or something.
Extra lane for sure. I think they should take out some of the exits.
Harris says all ideas are on the table.
And some of those may not be very popular with some of our businesses or with some of our neighboring cities, but we're going to have to.
If the road stays as is, Harris says things will only get worse.
It is not going to get better unless we do something drastically sooner rather than later.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Mayor Harris calls Tuesday's meeting with MnDOT the tip of the iceberg. It could take 2 years just to secure the funding and up to 5 years before any work begins on Highway 169.
A popular parade float will roll again in festivals across the state this summer.
We're just happy to have the trailer back so we can go out and visit the folks in the community this summer.
Somebody had stolen the float that carries the Zuhrah Shrine Steel Drum Band. The group got it back over the weekend. The unique float was stolen from a parking lot in Crystal more than a week ago. The Shriners were ready to put their summer parade plans on hold when it was found more than 15 miles away at a park in Ramsey. No arrests have been made, and police are not sure why anybody would steal it, but band director Dave Hansen does have a suspicion.
I think it was used for a party one night out at the park, and they had trouble getting it in and probably couldn't get it out of there, so they just left it.
There was some minor damage to the trailer and the onboard sound system, but it's expected to be ready for the first parade next weekend.
Brooklyn Park Police are looking for 2 people involved in a car theft at a local dealership. Police distributed these surveillance photos statewide. They say the thieves drove up in the Pontiac G6 you see in the picture. One of them stole a Jeep. The other left in the Pontiac. The car has damage to the left front fender, and the theft happened on a Sunday night nearly a month ago at the Luther Brookdale Chrysler Jeep and Dodge dealership. And if you see the car, you are asked to call Brooklyn Park Police.
Authorities are still not saying what sparked a search of the rural Isanti County property owned by the family of missing Amy Sue Pagnac. The search wrapped up Friday with little revealed about what was found. Amy Pagnac was just 13 years old when she disappeared from an Osseo gas station in 1989. Authorities also searched Amy's Maple Grove home last month, digging up the family's backyard. Amy's family still believes their daughter is alive. She would turn 38 on Sunday. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is urging people with a warrant out for their arrest to turn themselves in. A warrant sweep will begin on Tuesday, and you're looking at video of one sweep conducted last year. This year's will have a special focus on offenders facing drug-related charges.
Construction will soon begin on a new apartment building project in New Hope. A 4-story building called the Gates of New Hope is slated to go up near Highway 169 on Medicine Lake Road. The complex will contain 10 one-bedroom apartments and 22 two-bedroom units. 3 stormwater ponds will also be built to handle runoff from the site. Well, are you itching to get outside and enjoy as much of summer as possible?
As Minnesotans, we treasure this time of year, but it also means dealing with mosquitoes. In this week's Business Matters, we introduce you to a new local company that's making insect repellent their business. It's that time of year when you want to be outdoors. Or maybe your livelihood even depends on being outdoors. So there's nothing worse
They're terrible. They're terrible this year.
than having that precious outdoor time cut short by bugs and mosquitoes.
It's like they ring the dinner bell, and they're out to get us.
Father-son duo Mark and Travis McAlpin of Crystal have a new line of defense against those pests.
Mosquitoes, ticks, ants, flies.
In the form of clothing that fights back.
When I spray myself down with off and that, it gets in your eyes and it burns your eyes and it burns your skin. Whereas our clothing, you never have to apply any more lotions or anything again.
Ticked off clothing with built-in insect protection is the McAlpin's answer to keeping bugs away without sprays or lotion.
There's no odor, it's harmless, and everything to your skin.
Launched in April, the new clothing line is treated with permethrin, a synthetic chemical registered by the EPA and used as an insecticide.
It's good for up to 70 washes.
Primarily sold online, ticked off clothing includes jackets and jeans, pants and shirts, ranging from $40 to $60.
Right now I actually have the high visibility ticked off clothing shirt on right now that actually prevents all insects from biting me.
In his other job as a landscaper, Travis McAlpin wears the gear, and these two entrepreneurs can think of many others who they would like to reach with their new business.
The campers, the canoers, the softball players, the gardener, the guy that's mowing the grass. You know, this can be used in a lot of different ways.
The ticked off clothing line is also available at Big B's Bait and Tackle in Plymouth. Coming up, a church celebration mixed with a game of baseball that could really hurt.
We'll give you a front row seat to vintage baseball coming up next. And then later in sports, it's a rainy one for the second day of the state high school track and field championships.
But first, the forecast is warming up. Wednesday, we could reach 80 degrees.
When St. John's Lutheran Church in Corcoran formed, Abraham Lincoln was the president.
The church, founded by Civil War veterans, has been celebrating its 150th anniversary over the past year. To cap the festivities, the church played a game of baseball on Sunday with 1860s rules. That means underhand pitching and no gloves. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Photojournalist Dustin Scholl takes us there.
Well, we're kind of having a culmination of our 150th anniversary celebration. The congregation and school both founded in 1864.
It was founded in 1864, which was during the Civil War, actually. 10 acres were donated back then. It has a lot of history, a lot of history. My great-grandfather was one of the founders, so I go way back. I'm 5th generation.
Throughout the course of this last year, we've had special events, special speakers. And today we have an old-fashioned baseball game.
They play according to the 1860 rules.
They didn't throw overhand until the 1880s, and so the hurlers would throw the ball underhand to the batter, and that was part of the 1860s rules.
They play with no gloves. I think there's going to be some people with some pretty sore hands after today.
If someone hustled well, they had good ginger or good pluck.
The ball bounces and you get it on one hop, it's still considered an out.
A muffin would be someone who maybe wasn't a very good player. Yeah, call it.
I'm not quite sure what all the rest of the rules are, but there's some difference.
If you want to encourage a runner to run fast to his base, you could yell, leg it, leg it. That's right.
We're going to follow this with pie and ice cream for everybody to just socialize, and this is what we did years ago. People just came together and could visit.
Yeah, leg it, right?
That's right.
Money raised at Sunday's game helped to benefit wounded veterans.
And still ahead, a chance to take in some beautiful orchestra music in Golden Valley.
And in sports, a local high school has 2 alumni picked by the Twins in the Major League Draft. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. Well, a wet track will slow down a horse race, but this is an all-weather track, and I'm sure it wasn't fun, but they were probably able to keep things going.
Yeah, they were able to keep things going. It did slow things down, I think, a little bit. Probably the times and the distances for the field events not the best, but they got through it, and we had a state champion at the end of the day. It wasn't the best spring weather-wise for high school athletes, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised that track and field stars had to compete in the rain Saturday. In day 2 of the state meet, a very wet start as we begin with field events at the AA meet. The boys long jump, Terrence Bowers of Hopkins wins the title with a best of 22 feet 7 inches. After some drying efforts, the discus circle is ready for the finals. Park Center junior Terrence Howard is the runner-up with a best throw of 170 feet 11 inches in the finals. Umbrella's a must-have item as we get to the track. First event, the girls 4x800 relay. Minnetonka repeats as champion in a time of 9 minutes, 6.48 seconds. Wayzata is second, 7 seconds behind the winning Minnetonka team. Boys 100 meters. In the middle on the black top is Shahid Hickman of Hopkins, who repeats as champion with a time of 10.99 seconds. 2 local teams lead the pack on the boys 4x200 relay. Wayzata places first. Osseo, the runner-up, at a time of 1:29.47. Bad fortune in the boys 1600. Joe Klecker of Hopkins trying to chase down Stillwater's Eli Cron. Klecker takes a big fall near the end. He'll roll over the finish line and finishes 6th. Boys 4x100. Hopkins anchor Hickman outkicks Andover as the Royals have a great meet. Girls 400 meters. 2 Cretin-Durham Hall runners. Brescia Hunter and Megan Linder lead the way. Ruby Stauber of Wayzata is third in the race. Michael Smith of Wayzata has a good day. The senior races to the title in the 400 with a time of 47.99 seconds. His twin brother James finishes 5th. And in the final event, the 4x400 relay, Michael Smith anchors Wayzata to the win. They place second as a team, and it's Hopkins winning the boys' team title. As we check the scores, Hopkins is the state AA boys champion with Wayzata the runner-up. Osseo and Champlin Park also cracked the top 20. Minnetonka rolls to the AA girls title ahead of Cretin-Durham Hall and Lakeville South. Locally, Wayzata is 7th. Champlin Park ties for 27th. Maple Grove softball team played for the state Class 3A championship. The Crimson facing Lakeville South for the title. Maple Grove takes the lead in this game in the 3rd inning. Jordan Malk drilling it down the line and right past the photographer's camera on the stand. Sammy Sadler, the first of 2 runners to score, and it's 2-0 Crimson. Lakeville South gets on the board in the 4th. Amanda Bloomquist, it's a comebacker that Sydney Smith throws wide of first. Jenna Uphoff scores, and the Crimson lead is cut in half. After a controversial ruling ends the Maple Grove scoring threat, Lakeville South rallies in the 6th. Alicia Young will blip it over the drawn-in infield, and this hit ties the game at 2. And then they go ahead on a squeeze bunt by Mariah Uphoff. Michaela Thielen beats the tag of the plate. The Cougars go up 3-2. That's the final. Maple Grove is state runner-up. Well, here's something you won't see every day. Not 1, but 2 former Cooper baseball players were drafted by the Minnesota Twins. Here's some vintage high school footage of ex-Hawks outfielder Max Murphy, who was picked in the 9th round by the Twins. Robbinsdale native Murphy was a second-team All-Missouri Valley Conference pick as a junior for Bradley University in Illinois. Murphy was a freshman All-American in 2012 for the Braves. He's considered very toolsy by scouts. The Twins selected former Cooper left-handed pitcher Otis Farfan in the 21st round. He pitched for Ridgewater Community College in Wilmer this season. Armstrong's baseball team plays in the state tournament beginning Thursday. Jason Malillo features the Falcons on this week's Sports Jam show here on Channel 12. Here's a clip from that story.
From an outsider's perspective, it was hard to see this coming. The Falcons had a very up-and-down regular season, but wins and losses aside, players and coaches felt they were set up well for a section run.
Just moving guys around and trying to figure out where those pieces of the puzzle fit together is an important thing. You know, we've always said at our program, we might not always have fast starts, but we'll always have good finishes by working hard with our pitching staff and making sure that they're ready to go at the end of the year rather than the beginning, and making sure guys are in the right spots and know how to fill their role and know what they're going to do in order to have success.
Armstrong can definitely hit the ball and hang up big numbers. During a hot streak in May, the Falcons scored 61 runs in 7 games.
Watch the rest of that story and more on Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday here on Channel 12 and our website, 12.tv. Let's look at sports for today.
All right, thanks, John. We'll be right back. Talented musicians with diverse backgrounds kick off a big summer series of concerts in Golden Valley tonight.
The Golden Valley Orchestra performs at Brookview Park, and 12 News reporter Carissa Wyant takes us behind the scenes with the music makers and shows us who they are and what they've been working on.
Something absolutely thrilling is going to happen right here in Golden Valley. It's remarkable.
These talented musicians are warming up.
That's the one. Here we go. And 1 and a 2.
They play instruments of all kinds, from violins to trombones. And everyone's hard at work practicing.
They practice at home every day or every other day or something like that.
For the big show.
So, called Pops in the Park. So we do some lighter classical music and some music from movies and Broadway.
In addition to a few professional musicians, the Golden Valley Orchestra is a diverse group of players.
We have farmers, we have pharmacists, research assistants, historians, physicians.
But they are all united here for a common purpose.
For them, making music out of nothing, out of just black marks on a page, it's something for them to do that.
And they are hoping audiences will be delighted with what they hear.
It's such a blast. The orchestra just feeds off that excitement that the folks have. I love this concert.
In Golden Valley, Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
The Golden Valley Orchestra will play tonight, Monday night at Brookview Park at 7 o'clock. Folks are encouraged to bring their own lawn chairs or blankets to sit on, and tonight's concert series is just the beginning. The Concerts in the Park series at Brookview Park features a new act every Monday night through August 11th. Great opportunity to get outdoors, spend a little time outside, listen to great music.
Yeah, and those guys are great, and they all have day jobs too.
That's
so
exactly right. Bring a
neat.
picnic too,
That's
right?
That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here at 4. Community Corner is coming up next.